The honoree for excellence in civil rights is David Tsai. He's escorted by Assemblymember Lowe. David Tsai is a partner in Vincent & Elkins LLP's San Francisco office and co-head of the firm's practice in Taiwan. He focuses on patent, trade secret, complex breach of contract, and product defect litigation for companies. He is a graduate of Harvard, Stanford, and Santa Clara University. He also serves on numerous associations, foundations, and boards, and has been recognized as one of the top 50 California lawyers on the Fast Track by the Recorder, as a rising star by the Minority Corporate Counsel Association, as a super lawyer in intellectual property litigation, and as best lawyer under 40 by both the National Asian Pacific American Bar Association and the National LGBT Bar Association. Pro bono, he successfully represented API clients in immigration matters and was responsible for the founding of numerous minority scholarships for API students. Mr. Tsai led the drafting of amicus briefs filed in the same-sex marriage Prop 8 cases in California, for which more than 100 organizations, including many local and national API organizations, signed. Please welcome the honoree for excellence in civil rights, David Tsai.
Mr. Williams, you are recognized for your introduction.
As chair, of course, I would like to add my personal congratulations to all the honorees. I also would like to note that we have with us here today members of the California Commission on Asian Pacific Islander American Affairs who have joined us in the gallery. They are conducting a public hearing today from 2 to 4 p.m. in Capitol Room 127. They include our chair, Syrian Villasencio, Secretary Rajan Gill, Treasurer Catherine Ofa Mann, members Stephen Ma, Karthik Ramakrishnan, and Christina Wu. Please welcome the members of the California Commission on Asian Pacific Islander American Affairs.
I'd also like to welcome all our special guests in the rear of the chamber and in the gallery who have joined us for today's ceremony. I encourage all our visitors and guests and members to view a special exhibit on the second floor rotunda of the Capitol in honor of Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. This concludes our ceremony. Let's give our honorees another round of applause as they depart the chamber. Members, don't leave the chamber. We have business on file. Members, I'd like to welcome a former Assembly member here with us today, Assembly Member Sharon Quirk Silva. Going back to guest introductions, Mr. O'Donnell, would you like to introduce your guests?
Yes, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. I would like to welcome Eric Hines, President of the California Teachers Association. I know he's up there in the gallery somewhere. Eric and other CTA members are up in the gallery today in recognition of Wednesday, May 11th, as the 34th Annual Day of the Teacher. If you can read, thank a teacher. Teachers play a critical role in educating and shaping our children, our economy, and our future in this country, for sure. Please join me in welcoming Eric and recognize all individuals who give the gift of knowledge through teaching. Welcome.
Mr. Jones, I recognize you for your guest introduction.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. I have a very special guest with us this afternoon. Heather Petrie is a 4-time Olympic medalist in water polo. She participated in the 2000 Olympics, which was the first time women were recognized as women's water polo was recognized as an Olympic sport. She was also in the 2004, 2008, and 2012 Olympic Games when she finally won the gold medal after winning 2 silvers and a bronze. In March 2007, Heather competed in the 2007 World Aquatics Championships representing the United States, and after multiple victories, the United States won the gold medal, becoming world champions. She also won a gold medal in the 2003 World Aquatic Championships in Barcelona, Spain, and 2009 in Rome, and is now a 3-time world champion. She's a graduate of Cal Berkeley and Miramonte High School, and she currently continues her career in water polo coaching and as an entrepreneur in different endeavors regarding the Olympics and swimming. And if you all would help me welcome Heather Petrie, please.
On to business on the daily file. Second reading, file item 1 through 31. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1580, 1687, 2724, 1960, 1658, 1919, 2030, 2031, 2220, 2406, 2492, 1660 with amendments, 2316, 2815, 2212, 2799, 2914, 2915, 2230 with amendments, 2879, 2896, 2897, 2846 with amendments, 2389 with amendments, 1954 with amendments, 2294 with amendments, 2718 with amendments, Senate Bill 971, 972, 973, and 254 with amendments.
Reconsideration file. All bills are deemed read and amendments adopted. Reconsideration file item 33 through 35. File items 33 through 35 are continued. Assembly third reading. File items 32 through 37 pass and retain. File item 38. Senate third reading, file item 107 to 110. What do we need? Pass and retain. File item 38, AB 2566, Nazarian. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2566 by Assemblymember Nazarian, an act relating to property.
Mr. Nazarian, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. Under existing law, various documents are required to be validated by public notaries. Common types of notarized documents include wills, deeds, trusts, medical documents, and guardianship letters. Existing law mandates individuals to have a valid form of identification in order to have a document notarized. AB 2566 adds valid consular identification cards and a foreign passport to the list of acceptable documents to prove identity. Consular ID cards are now being accepted as a valid form of identification by many U.S. cities, counties, and financial institutions such as Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Chase. AB 2566 increases accessibility for undocumented immigrants into identifying themselves for purposes of obtaining notarized documents. Notarized documents protect families from litigation and fraud and help families preserve what is lawfully theirs. This bill passed policy committee with bipartisan support, and I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the vote. Aye 67, no 0. Measure passes. Item 39, clerk will read with amendments.
Assembly Bill 2250 with amendments by Assemblymember Harper.
Mr. Harper, you're recognized for your amendments.
I'm here to present amendments to Assembly Bill 2250, which would amend the Political Reform Act. Federal law protects our elections from outside foreign influence by prohibiting foreign governments, foreign principals living abroad, and foreign nationals living inside the United States from making any contribution in connection with any federal, state, or local candidate election. AB 2250 would adopt that prohibition in a state law with one big exception. It would not prevent foreign nationals who are inside the U.S. from making political contributions and influencing our elections. Under AB 2250, foreign government official could not make a contribution from his own country, but if he comes to the U.S. and makes the contribution on our own soil, it would be perfectly legal under this bill. Also, this bill would make it very easy for foreign governments and foreign political parties to launder contributions to influence our elections by sending them through an agent who is inside the United States. Members, there is no good reason to open our elections to that kind of outside influence. These amendments would close the loophole and mirror federal law by including the federal prohibition against foreign nationals in the United States from making such contributions. And like federal law, it would allow such contributions from foreign nationals who are lawful permanent residents of the United States. I respectfully ask for an aye vote on this amendment.
Mr. Calderon, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to move to lay the amendments on the table.
Is there a second? Second is Assemblymember Ridley Thomas. An objection from Ms. Waldron. Motion's not debatable. It takes a majority of present and voting. Mr. Calderon is asking for an aye vote. Ms. Waldron is asking for a no vote. The clerk will open the roll. Mr. Calderon is asking for an aye vote. Ms. Waldron is asking for a no vote. Ms. Calderon is asking for an aye vote. Ms. Waldron is asking for a no vote. Mr. Calderon is asking for an aye vote. So all those present and voting. Ayes 51, noes 26. The motion carries. On the bill, the clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2250 by Assemblymember Ridley Thomas, enacting into the Political Reform Act of 1974, declaring the urgency thereof to take effect immediately.
Mr. Ridley Thomas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Speaker. Colleagues, I rise because under current state law, foreign governments and corporations are prohibited from making campaign expenditures in state and local elections. AB 2250 would extend that prohibition to candidate elections so that foreign corporations and governments would be prohibited in making contributions in all elections. This issue arose to my attention because of an issue in Los Angeles where a foreign corporation tried to defeat a ballot measure. And though that was already prohibited under law and the FPPC was able to take action, we realized that in candidate elections, the same prohibition does not exist. With that, I would respectfully request an aye vote in order that the Fair Political Practices Commission can uphold the integrity and keep the integrity of elections and keep democracy vibrant from manipulative foreign campaign expenditures. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Mr. Gallagher, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I appreciate the motivation behind this bill, and I in fact even supported this bill in committee. But I don't see why we can't exactly mirror federal law. Federal law says that even foreign nationals living in this country cannot contribute to elections. So if we're going to close the loophole that I agree with you exists, then we need to close it all the way. And I don't see any reason why we don't do that. I mean, that would be very easy to make that amendment, to take that amendment, and we could all support this measure and deal with the very issue you're talking about. So I would hope maybe in your closing you could address why we're not making that change. If we did, I'd be proud to support this bill on the floor today, but I think we need to truly close that loophole all the way. Thank you, members.
Seeing no further debate, Mr. Ridley Thomas, would you like to close?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would simply say that we need not let the perfect be the enemy of the good if we want to keep foreign corporations and governments out of elections, which is a laudable goal which the Nonpartisan Fair Political Practices Commission supports. This is a measure to ensure that that is the case and would respectfully request an aye vote of this body. Thank you, Speaker.
Clerk will open the roll. Members, this is a 54. This vote needs 54 members. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. Mr. Ridley Thomas asked to move the call. File item 40, pass and retain. File item 41, AB 1732, Ting. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1732 by Assemblymember Ting and others, enact or lane to restrooms.
Mr. Ting, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, we and our constituents have to use the bathroom every day. While other states are making it tougher and more political to use a bathroom, today we can make it easier for everyone to use a single-room bathroom by simply changing the sign on the door and allowing anyone to use it. AB 1732 requires all single-room public bathrooms in California be accessible to everyone. All of our homes have single-room bathrooms, yet we don't feel the need to segregate them by gender or any other category. Why should we do this in public? By passing this law today, we can contrast ourselves to other states like North Carolina, Mississippi, and Kansas, who are making bathrooms more political rather than more convenient. As a father of 2 young daughters, I've often had to debate which restroom to use with my children, and more often than not, it comes down to the simple choice of using whichever one is available. Earlier this year, I was moved by a simple sign on the bathroom door placed up by Pure Pizza in, ironically, Charlotte, North Carolina, of all places. Madam Speaker, permission to read?
Permission granted.
We have a unisex bathroom because sometimes gender-specific toilets put others into uncomfortable situations. And since we have a lot of our friends coming to see us, we wanted to provide a place for our friends who are single dads with daughters, single moms with sons, parents with disabled children, those in the LGBTQ community, adults with aging parents who may be mentally/physically disabled. Thank you for helping us to provide a safe environment for everyone. Today, let's take the politics out of bathrooms and bring back common sense. I respectfully ask for an aye vote on AB 1732.
Mr. Lowe, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I also rise in support of Assembly Bill 1732. Currently, even as we speak, the Attorney General and Department of Justice is filing a lawsuit against the state of North Carolina for the discriminatory law. And I rise in support of this bill because California is a place of inclusion. And let's make a clear statement that if you want to go pee, by all means, help yourself. Thank you very much.
Mr. Gallagher, you're recognized.
Madam Speaker, members, I rise in opposition to this bill. And I think, first of all, let's file this one under, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm trying to, scratch my head, and I've thought about this a lot as to how the current policy that we have, the current, men's and women's bathrooms, single occupancy bathrooms, inconveniences anyone. If you're a man, you go in and use the men's room. If you're a woman, you use the women's room. If you're transgendered, you use the bathroom that you're most comfortable with. If you're a father with kids, that's me. I have 2 daughters. If I go into a gas station, I'm going to take them into the men's room with me. That'd be my first preference. If my wife's with me, she'll take them into the women's room. And guess what? Sometimes, members, if I see that the women's room's open, I'll go in there, and nobody will care. It's not an issue. There's virtually no one that is inconvenienced by the status quo right now. However, if we make this change, I can tell you right now, there's going to be a large group who's going to be inconvenienced by statewide mandated unisex bathrooms. And I think all the women in this room could probably attest to it. It's called the pee seat. No woman wants to use the bathroom after many men have been in that same bathroom. And as hard as we try, men, you know that your target is not always that good. Your aim is not always that good. And so, but seriously, we're going to inconvenience a lot more people by doing this, whereas right now under the status quo there is no inconvenience. And seriously, we're talking about a pretty broad mandate. This is retroactive. So every business, every place of public accommodation will have to make this change. There's no grandfathering in. And it applies not just to gas stations and coffee shops, but every church, every community center, every senior nursing center, every home daycare, every small business, every home business. We are setting for all these people throughout the state, we are setting their bathroom policy, regardless of what their customers or owners' personal preferences or beliefs might be. Why don't we leave this up to the market, as is already the case? There are businesses who have provided family restrooms or unisex bathrooms, and they've decided that that's how they best meet their customers' preferences. Leave it up to the market. Why do we at the state have to state this mandate for everybody? And I think you should really consider how broadly this applies. It applies to every place of public accommodation. And arguably there will be a cost because, as I said, in dealing with, I think it's okay to say P. The previous author just used the word. But in dealing with the P seat, people will probably have to install urinals in order to meet the preferences of their women customers. And arguably, in this legislation, the way it's worded, it defines single occupancy bathroom as a restroom that has one urinal and one water closet. So arguably, those businesses that don't have a urinal will have to install one under the wording of this bill. It's not clear, it's not defined. So I think there's a lot of problems with this legislation, and saying it's not politicized, you are politicizing it. You're the one that is bringing in the gentleman from San Francisco and the gentleman from San Jose are the ones who are bringing in North Carolina and all these other issues. That's not going on in this state.
1 minute.
That's not the issue before us. There's nothing wrong with the status quo, and I think we're going to inconvenience more people, especially women, by making this change in policy. Let's not mandate everybody's bathroom policy. That's not what we're here to do. We've got a lot more bigger issues to address in this state, and I would urge your no vote on this. Thank you.
Ms. Eggman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in support of this bill also as a proud co-author. This is a very basic bill that just says if you have a single use, that it should be for everybody. That doesn't seem to me to be a grand inconvenience to be able to put up a new sign. It doesn't seem to be a huge deal. And my colleague from Nicholas is talking about everything is fine just the way it is. The status quo is fine. It's easy to say that when you sit in a position of privilege. And I don't think because your aim is bad makes you any kind of special category that you must have your own bathroom. I was just in Santa Cruz this weekend. Most of the stalls I saw there were double occupancy. There's a sign that says bathroom. You go in, you lock the door, you use it. Nobody seemed to be inconvenienced. The lines seemed to work quite effectively, and it didn't seem to be any messier than usual. I ask for your aye vote.
Mr. Chu, you're recognized.
Thank you. I wasn't going to speak on this item, but given the comments of our colleague from Yuba City, I felt like I had to. On behalf of so many of my constituents and thousands of transgender individuals in the state of California who feel unsafe in bathrooms, who feel harassed in bathrooms, who are questioned when they walk into a bathroom, in part, that is what we are doing today with moving forward this bill, and I'm proud to be a principal co-author of this. But also in part, we're here because we have seen in recent years attacks on LGBT rights in Arizona, in Florida, in Kentucky, in North Carolina, in Pennsylvania, in Virginia, in Texas, where lawmakers, universities, schools have tried to limit access to restrooms. And we're here to say in the state of California, we stand up for equality. We want to ensure that everyone has the right to one of the most fundamental things that any of us do. And let me also say that as someone who's a new parent, my wife, we have a new son. She's confused on whether she can bring our son into a bathroom that is labeled women, or whether she herself can go into a men's bathroom to help our son. So I think this is a common sense measure. I do hope we can all support it. I do hope that in the state of California, we can stand up for truly equality for all.
Seeing and hearing no further debate, Mr. Ting, would you like to close?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Again, this does not mandate that we install any more additional bathrooms. All it says is if you have a single room bathroom already installed, all you have to do is change the sign. Or frankly, if you don't want to change the sign, just take the sign down. This is a common sense measure so that we can make bathrooms accessible to everyone. I'm proud to have the sponsorship of Equality California, but also the California National Organization of Women. And I think they, as well as my colleagues here, are asking men all over the state to step up their game and clean up after their own mess. Thank you.
On that, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Ayes 52, noes 18. Measure passes.